our dear Jeanne.
The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gololja. The blame lies with Calyx, and with him alone. It's all so senseless! Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy? Living our lives! What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calyx for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him. Wait, where are you going? To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
Things would have been far worse if you and Jeanne hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calyx is hiding. But not right now. We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Jeanne.
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Jeanne, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
Oh!
What are the two of you doing here?
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
I suppose I could spare a moment. They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Jeanne helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Jeanne. I still wore a regulator then. I had recently lost someone close to me. And also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company. So Jeanne came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine. That was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause. It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Jeanne and I were intrigued by her ideas, and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Jeanne often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Thus were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided. Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this. And why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
What's happened?
Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail. Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Alex.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us? Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tulichola will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
You got the lights working!
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx.
We're more than happy to help, of course. But I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life, it's begun to frighten me. I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calix's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject. But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research. I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you...
Protocol, you understand? There can be no exceptions.
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in living memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
The Endless are memories, and if memories are data, then...
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electrode-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in living memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Spheen's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect the sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited living memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the Keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Time's up, and what a waste of time it's been. Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you. invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
I will wait and continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless. Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Jeanne and her restructured memories had become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key. I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me? Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx. Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this. Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.